The difference between my marriage and feeling pain in my marriage and you feeling pain in your marriage as you were in polygyny, she wasn't. She said is that I know the man that I was married to was set out to hurt me. He was a narcissist. And she said, I know your husband didn't mean to. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, I want to discuss a really challenging topic, as I always like to do, because we need to open up these conversations so that they aren't so difficult and that people don't feel like they have to hide, even though they might be going through these emotions or feelings, these certain things, or having these experiences. So many times what is happening in polygyny is that wives can tend to feel like just their husband's additional bed buddy, just another bed buddy. What does that mean? That means that outside of bedroom activity, whenever he feels like it, then he's present. Other than that, he doesn't care. He doesn't help with the kids. He doesn't help with the home. He doesn't take care of his wives. He doesn't manage. He doesn't create boundaries. He's not practicing leadership. He doesn't want to be a leader. He's just lazy in all areas. Unless it becomes a situation where he goes, oh, I want the sex, but that's it. I don't want the responsibility of being a leader, being a husband, and all the many levels of what that means. What is that role? And some just are not clueless. They're just clueless. They're not knowledgeable enough to even know or scratch the surface of what it is to be a man that is actively in polygyny. What does that mean? That means that some men want to be in polygyny. They like the idea of it. It sounds great. But the responsibility is incredible. It's not for the lazy. It's not for men that just want to say, okay, I will have relations with my wife when I feel like it, but forget her needs. But as soon as someone says, it could be anywhere. It could be someone just not even knowing she's married. Says, how you doing today, sister? You look nice today. Then he gonna blow a gasket. Now, that is something that I believe would be a natural reaction for many men to go, okay, no, that's my wife. Now you're not gonna be complimenting my wife. And, this man might be completely oblivious. So we know that male jealousy and women's jealousy can be quite different from one another. And that's for another video. But I've found that when men become jealous, somebody's got to go. Like they're ready to unalive someone. It can go from 0 to 100 very quickly, especially when they have their sights set on another man that might be encroaching, whether it be mentally, whether it may be physically, meaning they could be just passing his wife and he's going to put his arm in there. Don't get too close, or giving too much of a compliment, or I don't know you. Where did you come from? I pumped my wife's gas, or whatever the case may be, not to say anything appropriate is happening at all. It could be something very, very minute, but it means something to a man because a man is really wanting to protect his family and he doesn't want another man coming around his wife. No, he wouldn't want that. Why would he want that? Does it make sense? That's a threat. And they deal with that accordingly, whatever way that is, because everybody's different and not all men are the same. And I don't like blanket statements, but history has shown and told the tale of what happens when men get upset. They lay waste sometimes, and some people just, again, get unalived. So I want to pay that respect to the fact that it's okay for them to have their own jealousies and be protective over their wives. Absolutely. However, when it reaches a certain point where women can get complimented or whatever the case may be, they will find that their husband will take that very seriously. Even if the other party has no idea this woman is married, she could say, and I've had to say, I'm married. careful. Oh, okay, sister. Yeah. Hmm. Or I love this one. I love this one. If someone says, "Oh, sister, you look beautiful today." I mean, my husband thought I did too. I'm telling you, they go, they say sorry, they get away. My fault. I didn't know. All right, brother, take care. That person's not my business, and I'm not theirs. So I get that. I understand that, and many women understand that. But when it comes to actively being in polygyny every day, I remember telling Coach Nazir, and this was years ago, and I was talking to this wife of this brother that had recently gotten polygyny. He was saying he was very tired. And so I remember I told Coach Nyla, and he said to me, and it really helped so much. He was like, "Well, if he's not tired, he's not in polygyny. There's so many things to do. There's so much business to handle, so many people to take care of, so much ripping and running. And you do rest. Of course you do. You try to your best to lay down and get substantial amount of rest so that you can just function as a person. But to I like to call it hunt and gather for your family, whatever that is for a man. That's not easy. So it's good to have this idea of polygyny, but to actually be active in it and do your best to be successful at it is a whole nother type of man. A whole nother type of man. You know, a friend of mine had her marriage. She was recently divorced last year, and she doesn't mind me referencing, and I always like to get permission. And she said, "You know what? The difference between my marriage and feeling pain in my marriage and you feeling pain in your marriage as you were in polygyny," she wasn't. She said, "is that I know the man that I was married to was set out to hurt me. He was a narcissist." And she said, "I know your husband didn't mean to." And that really, although I walked through that fire kind of with her, although I didn't know what she was experiencing outside of what she told me, it was such a beautiful moment in my life when she said that. I know it wasn't easy, but your husband didn't do what mine did, because I understood growth and I understood intentions and I understood how different men handle things and how everybody's different, more so than I did before. It was such a beautiful compliment that it really cemented something that I already knew was there. You know, I'm like, there's nobody in their right mind would want to really hurt their wife and they love them, you know, even if it fell out of their hands and they didn't mean to. I knew that. But to have someone else see it, and I love that person and I love her, she's my sister in Islam, felt so beautiful to, not because, oh, that's my husband and I get the compliment right along. No. That meant that outside of me, someone else that loves me can see that this is not, although it's not easy, was not intentional, and this is not something that a man can do and just kind of throw it to the side and pick it up whenever he wants to do it. He's got to be very, very careful about his movements. And I love that Coach Nazir said, he tired, that's one of the signs that you are doing the most that you can in polygyny, is that you are tired. But to completely drop the ball and completely not care and say, well, no, those are her children over here. I saw a certain TLC show that deals directly with polygyny, and the man kept referencing, those are her kids. Those are this wife's kids. That's her kids. And he would never say our kids. And I said, wow. Okay, their kids, like you had nothing to do with it. You know, maybe he was making a distinction, but he didn't say my kids with this wife, my kids with that wife. He just said these wives and their kids. And I thought that was very dismissive, and I'm not going to change my mind about it. That's how I feel. And because I've never seen my husband do that. He's never, ever, ever referenced our children as we're just singular parents as wives. Or your children, Coach Nyla's children. You know, I don't know what y'all gonna do with them, but I'm here when I want to be. Nope. He's not like that. He's never, ever been that way. And I celebrate the fact that he's not that way, and it doesn't let anybody else talk about our children in that way. So I think that's beautiful, but the work This is where the rubber meets the road, as they like to say, especially in the West where I'm from. You got to work. So if you want this outcome, there has to be some effort. But that does not happen by having children everywhere and not seeing them, and having wives everywhere and not seeing them. Now, if brothers are hemmed up because of work and geography and they just can't be there though they desire to, and they have to travel and it takes months, and they're dealing with visas and they're dealing with education abroad and so many different things. I get that lifestyle. My husband is a very close friend of his that had that same lifestyle until very recently, and they've been in polygyny for over a decade each. And he had to fly back and forth across the oceans and do so much, and it was not easy. So I know that lifestyle does exist for some men, but I mean the ones that are straight up lazy and don't care, that is problematic. That is problematic. But then still want to walk around and say, I have more than one wife, you know. I'm in polygyny. But they don't say, I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm not doing my part. I'm sexually lazy, or I'm abandoning this wife over here and over here and over there, whatever the case may be. That is extremely problematic for the family, and it's traumatic for wives and children to see this disconnect. One thing I love about our family is that our family sees each other often, not every day, but Coach Nazir sees us every day. We see each other almost every day. Almost, not every day. And it's not required for the women in my daughters are grown to see each other, my co-wife every day. No, that's not required. But Coach Nyla sees all of us every single day, unless he is traveling. He makes it a point to see us all every single day. And if he doesn't show up for some reason, then we're going, is he in a car accident? Is he in the hospital? Is he okay? Because that's how consistent he is with this. So, and I do believe, and I'm a firm believer based off what I've seen, is that he knows full well that children need to see their father every day if they can do so. If their fathers have the ability, the children have the ability to see. I don't know where our littler ones in the family would be if they didn't see their father every day. I don't know where it would be foreign to them to not see their father every day. I think it's such a healthy thing. I think it's so good for their soul. It's awesome for their core memory to build bonds with their father, for them to, as brothers, bond with one another and continue that. They're bonded so close. You know, to see them love each other and love on each other and play together and have fun together and learn together. Whoever is teaching them, whether it be my co-wife, myself, our older daughters, their father, it feels good because everybody is benefiting from polygyny, not just the husband. It is a family affair, and I love that. Because these little boys, they're not going to be little always. And I love the fact that they can grow up and say, look, we felt included. We were a family. I don't know what this other stuff is about, although I may help. Maybe they carry the torch as they get older. But I love the bond. But that wouldn't have been there if there hadn't been a certain amount of leadership from their father. And of course, their mothers, of course. But to see that their father is moving in a certain way and being intentional in a certain way and taking care of his family in a certain way matters to the mental health and wellness and stability of his children, not just his wives. I mean, my co-wife and I are grown women, and we understand so much, and our understanding is limitless in certain specific areas. We're still learning, so we're not children, is my point. They don't have that yet. So they only know what they're experiencing to their understanding as children. So polygyny is not something to play with. And I always say, so don't play in it. It is not for lazy men. It is not for men that want to give up super easily and that want to just drop everybody at the first sight of trouble. It will stretch you if you're doing your work, and it makes you become more if you're invested in your movement. So I just wanted to put that out there and have to say that. And I've learned a lot from Coach Nazir not just as my husband, but I'm watching what he's training, and I watch his videos too, so that I can learn more about the world of men that are trying their best to do this the right way, that are intentional and doing what they need to do within the areas of marriage, and especially the alternative marriage, which is polygyny. So with that being said, guys, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share this video. And also pick up the Men's Polygyny Roadmap, which was written by Coach Nazir. And my co-wife, Coach Nyla, and I have written the Women's Polygyny Roadmap. We also, you're going to want to make sure you head over to Polygamy Masterclass at polygamymasterclass.com for details. That's where we go deeper into training about marriage, polygyny, personal development, and everything in between. It's very powerful, powerful content and deep dive training on most of these issues in marriage and polygyny. And head over to our OPR community at oprcommunity.com for details. That's a private community. You can become a member, and we can have these conversations without the disturbance of trolls and people that have extra opinions and all this judgment. So with that being said, make sure you guys check that out. And I am going to leave you guys with a little GLC. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I'm Coach Fatimah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
We are also the authors of the new ebook, The Polygamy Roadmap. 2 different roadmaps, one specifically for men and the other
for women.
Naturally. So no matter where somebody is in their journey, whether they're considering it and what's required, especially men I'm talking to, I share the 5 requisites on really what it takes to build a healthy, successful polygynous family unit. So with that being said, make sure if you're a man and if you're serious, not just curious, you take action and get it today.
And in the Women's Polygamy Roadmap, we talk about the different feelings that women might go through with emotions of fear, challenge, betrayal, jealousy.
Yes, and we give you some good insight as well as tips, anecdotes, as well as some of our stories of struggle in the polygamy roadmap too for women. And you will find out really how to have a type of confidence in yourself after reading this. I'm truly, truly in the mindset that you would anyway.
Indeed. So do what you got to do. And that means go to polygamyroadmap.com, grab your copy. We look forward to you benefiting from it and joining us in our private community. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.